Hello and welcome to my October favourites video. October was a bit of a mad month for me as I spent it in Japan, as I was on tour there with the musical Top Hat that I did a UK tour with, and then we went out for a month in Japan and we were in Tokyo and in Osaka, and we had an amazing time there, and I've come back the biggest fan of Japan, and I will sing its praises to everyone that I meet. I loved the country, the people, the cities, the countryside. Everything about Japan was just incredible. I loved, the shopping, the beauty, the fashion, and it was just a really incredible place to experience, and I'd recommend it to everyone if you're able to go at any point to enjoy the incredible cultural difference that there is between sort of Western, sort of European culture to the Japanese culture is completely different, but they're such wonderful people, the kindest, most conscientious and helpful people you will meet. As a result, because I was in Japan, a lot of my favourites are sort of quite specific to being there and travelling and obviously doing the show there. So I will start off with skincare. So for skincare, I've got one really good standout product that I really loved using in the last month, and I used it from my journey to Japan and when I was in Japan, and since I've come home as well. And it's the Clinique Moisture Surge Overnight Face Mask, and I bought this in duty free in Heathrow Airport before I got on the plane because I wanted to use it as part of an in-flight facial routine, which I've done a full post on, which is coming up soon, so you can read all about that and how I sort of got through the flight without having really dehydrated skin. But the reason I picked it up was because it's a really great mask for flying with, because it's very hydrating. It also absorbs quite well, and it's quite a good colour in terms of it going on pretty much clear. So it's not a distracting sort of face mask that you might associate with sort of a purifying mask or like a clay mask, because obviously they've got quite a high pigment and you'd look quite ridiculous applying that on a plane, and also quite messy. So what's great about this product is it was really easy to apply, and you can use quite a generous amount, and it just absorbs into your skin. And you can wear it obviously as you sleep. So that's why I picked it up, because I wanted to apply it sort of towards the beginning of the flight when I wanted to get on Japanese time and have some sleep, and I could wear it really comfortably with an eye mask, and it wasn't sticky and it wasn't uncomfortable in any way. It doesn't need like peeling off or anything like that, so it was very easy to apply on a plane and remove as well. And not only did I use it on the plane, I actually used it post-flying, because it was actually really hot in Japan, and at night I found I couldn't have the door or window open in the hotel because it was quite noisy, as it's such a busy city in Tokyo. So as a result, I was using the aircon at night, which is obviously very drying. It's not ideal sleeping conditions, but because of that I would then again use this face mask overnight to sort of battle with the aircon, because obviously it can be very drying on your skin. So this has been a really great product, not only for flying but also for the aircon, and then I think it will be really great also for the winter months with sort of central heating and winter poorly skin. So this is a really great mask, and it's not too heavy even if you have a combination or oily skin. I found that it was absolutely fine for me. And so yeah, I really highly recommend that product. I think it's really good. Another skincare product which I picked up in Japan, which is quite dull really but practical, is some cotton pads, and these ones are ones I picked up from Muji, but in Japan, so it's not got the Muji sort of English name on it. And you can buy these in the UK in any Muji store, and they're amazing because they're super soft, and each individual pad is peelable, so it actually peels off into 4 smaller, thinner pads. So you can get so much use out of one pad that you hardly need any. I mean, I bought them quite early into the month, and I've still got loads left, so that I brought them back because I love them so much, and they're incredibly soft, and you can also use them for toner, or you can even use them actually as a mask and sort of soak them and sort of layer them on your skin, because they're so thin they'll kind of stick to your face in the way that a sort of sheet mask would do. Incredibly for a thin sort of piece of cotton, and they're quite multi-purpose, but they're also quite robust, so they're not sort of the kind that would disintegrate or sort of flake off into little bits. So they're quite strong considering that they are thin. So again, quite a dull favourite, but you know, we all need cotton pads, and the amount that we all get through removing our eye makeup and our facial makeup, or using toner for example, then this is a really great buy because you don't need very many, and yeah, they're really lovely and soft as well on your skin. So my favourites for makeup this month is another product that I picked up actually at the airport before I flew to Japan, and it's the Benefit Air Patrol BB Eye Primer. So I saw this in a Instagram video, and it was demonstrated on a hand, and it was just applied on one side, and then they put the eyeshadow on with the primer and without the primer, and the colour difference, the colour payoff was so dramatic that I was instantly sucked in and wanted to pick it up as soon as I saw it, and my first opportunity was at the airport. Another thing that really attracted me to the product was that it has an SPF 20, so it's also really great for protecting your delicate eyelid skin, because I actually have an SPF eye cream which is great for this area here, which we're all very conscious of being very delicate, but I think sometimes we don't pay as much attention to the eyelid, and that is just as delicate as this skin under here, but I think gets probably mistreated because obviously it's having eyeshadow on it and a lot of makeup applied to it, and there's probably a lot of rubbing and all that sort of thing. So actually to apply sort of a nourishing cream first before you add your eyeshadow, I think is a really great idea, and particularly to have an SPF is even better. So this is a really lovely product. It's got kind of quite a yellowy sort of colour as you apply it, so you can actually use it on its own, and it just helps to sort of tone down any discoloration on your eyelid, so you could just use it on its own. But it is really great as a primer, and I've definitely noticed, I've got it on actually today underneath the eyeshadow that I'm wearing, that it does really help smooth out your eyelids and stop your eyeshadow from creasing and fading, so it's really great for that, and it helps give that obviously stronger colour that you want quickly. The packaging is quite different for an eye primer. It sort of comes in a twist up tube, and on the end is this sort of, well, it's like a soft sort of rubbery applicator, and it's a bit messy, so sorry about that, but you're supposed to use one twist and it would come up through the applicator at the end, which is this sort of soft rubbery thing, and then you sort of apply it to your eyelid and then blend it out. It is quite messy, so I've actually found that when I use it, I actually prefer to sort of swipe it off and then pat it on with my finger, or just apply it sort of in blobs and then pat it in with a finger, rather than use the actual applicator to blend it in, as I find it probably would sort of smear around a little bit more on my eye than just patting it in with my finger. But it is really soft, so if you did want to use that, it's a nice sort of soft rubbery feel, so it's not at all sort of scratchy or anything for your eyelids. So it's suppose a bit different from the sort of standard tube, but yeah, I think I just prefer using it with my finger. But it's a really lovely product, and I think I'll be continuing to use it, and maybe I'll write a full post on it so you can see sort of with and without, as I do think it does make a difference. Another makeup favourite this month was my Sephora lip cream, which I picked up actually in Sephora in Paris last month, and I've been really enjoying using it, particularly when I was doing the show in Japan, as I obviously needed a red lipstick, which is kind of the standard colour that we wear on the show, and I'd run out of my Maybelline Colour Stay one, so I really like a long lasting sort of lip cream, sort of lip stain for stage, as then I don't have to keep reapplying it and worrying about it smudging as much. So I was using this, and I really liked the product. I thought it was very comfortable to wear, it wasn't overly drying. You can't layer it up too much, otherwise then it will start to build up, and you might need to remove it and then start again. But I did find it really comfortable to wear. It's not completely smudge proof. If you were to like wear obviously like layers of it, it's going to have more of a tendency to smudge, but on the whole it's pretty good. And because it's not so much of a liquid lipstick, it is a little bit, I suppose, more comfortable and less drying than those sort of products. So it is a really great colour as well. I really loved these. It's described as Strawberry Kisses, I believe, and it's a really lovely colour, a really beautiful red colour. The only downer about it was the fact that the end of the packaging has had a bit of a tendency to come off, which is a little bit of a pain, but that hasn't stopped me from using it, and I just sort of kept putting it back on, and it's kind of worked okay. But that's the only downer that I've had with the product, is just that lid. Yeah, I've really enjoyed wearing it, and it's a really lovely colour for stage, and also if you just like to wear a red for day as well. Another makeup favourite for me this month was a concealer, and it is the L'Oreal True Match La Touche Magique Anti-Fatigue Illuminating Concealer, which is supposed to match the colour and texture of your skin. It is very illuminating, but not in a way that a highlighting concealer would, for example like a Touche Eclat, which has kind of got more of a pearl, more of a shine to it. It's more of a matte finish, and it's got a more of a thick consistency. And the one I picked up was the shade Ivory Beige, which is quite a sort of yellowy colour, which is great for the sort of anti-fatigue element of this kind of concealer. So it's great for applying sort of in a classic sort of triangular shape underneath your eyes, give that sort of brightness. And it's obviously a little bit thicker than the sort of fine highlighting concealers that you'd use probably more on sort of your cheekbone or your brow bone, for example. So I've really liked using this concealer. I think it's a really great quality concealer for a drugstore chemist brand or chemist available brand. And yeah, I've been really liking using it because although it comes out quite thick, it's very blendable. So it blends in beautifully with whatever foundation you're wearing, and it's been really great for sort of really brightening the skin. I've actually got it on today, and I really enjoy using it for stage and also for any kind of look, either just lightly if it's very natural, or if you want to go kind of more full out with a bit more contouring, you could definitely use it for that as well. Another makeup product that I picked up in Japan was my DHC Q10 translucent powder. Now I normally use a foundation powder to seal, for example, my concealer and kind of add an extra layer on top of my foundation, but I happened to be in DHC and I'd seen this used before in a Lisa Eldridge video, so I thought it must be a good product as she doesn't use anything that's bad. So I thought I'd give it a go, and I have to say I really enjoyed using it, particularly for my under eye concealing sort of area, and also on top of any concealing that I've done on spots, because the great thing about translucent powder is it doesn't add any colour. If you're very happy with the sort of finish that you've got with concealer, then you're not adding anything extra on top, which sometimes when you use a foundation powder it can just be that bit too much. It's really great in that the sort of Q10 sort of anti-aging element of it means it's not overly drying, and I particularly like wearing that under my eyes, as obviously you don't want to over dry that area of the skin. As I've already mentioned, it's such a delicate area, so you need to protect it, but I found it's really great for helping stop any pan dry and smudging from makeup or eyeliner or mascara that I'd wear on my lower lashes, as I do find that I tend to get that quite a lot. And I used to apply it with my MAC 224 brush, and I find this is a really great sized brush to use underneath the eyes and also on any spots, as it's kind of fluffy enough that it sort of picks up powder but not too densely, but it's also small enough that it gives you a good amount of control. So I really like using it sort of just in the areas where I need it, particularly on the T-zone, under the eyes and on any spots. So yeah, this has been a really great product for me this month. Another makeup sort of beauty related favourite this month has been an eyelash curler, and I picked this up in Japan as it's a Shiseido eyelash curler, and I picked it up for the bargain price of 800 yen, which is less than a fiver, which is amazing for a Shiseido product, as I think in the UK they're a bit more expensive. I think they're more like £19–20, which is sort of the average price for sort of high-end eyelash curler, and it's a really great product. I've not actually had a traditional eyelash curler before. I just have been relying on mascara to sort of doing the lifting, curling job for me, but I actually have seen why people use them now, and this is a really great one because it opens up really wide, so you can really get like all your eyelashes in quite easily without sort of crushing your side eyelashes if you can't see them, so you can really see like exactly what you're doing. And also you can get replacement pads, which is great because a lot of eyelash curlers don't actually have replaceable pads, and so in the end you end up throwing the whole thing away and it's such a waste. So I can see why you can get such a benefit from it. Even if you don't wear mascara, it really just gives your eyes a sort of opening effect, and then if you are applying mascara, or you can even use it post applying mascara, just helps really curl those eyelashes. And yeah, this Shiseido one is really great. In my hair care favourites this month, I have got a dry shampoo. I seem to always have one of these in a favourites video, as I just use them all the time and I love trying out new brands and new products. And this one is by Wella. It's the Dry Me dry shampoo, and it's a sort of more salon brand that I picked up from a hairdresser's. So it's a little bit more expensive than potentially some of the ones in the drugstore, like the Batiste one, but I think it's a really, really great product. It's got a really great ability to absorb oil, which is obviously the main idea of a dry shampoo, but it also gives a good amount of texture, and it's really mattifying as well, so it's really good for a styling product as well. And I found it's a really good product to use on my hair being dark as well, as not all dry shampoos are that great, particularly you sort of have to really massage them if they've got a lot of talc in them, whereas this one I feel doesn't really go that wide to my hair. And if, for example, I've sprayed too close or haven't shaken the bottle before and it has gone a little bit white, a tiny bit of massage and it's gone, you don't see it at all. And it's got the most amazing scent as well. I'm really addicted to the smell of this product, as it's sweet but it's also clean. So for me that's just perfect, because it's got a nice sort of feminine fragrance, but it's not overly sweet or overly sort of overbearing, so if you used a lot of it, it wouldn't sort of clash too much with any fragrance you're wearing as well. So this has been a really great product for me, particularly sort of post-show, just to sort out my hair as it's come out of pin curls, or if I just want to give my hair a little bit more lift, maybe post washing my hair if it's a little bit flat and I just want to give it a little bit of lift in the roots. Yeah, I could really recommend this product. It's really great, and you can buy it in salons, but you can also buy it online as well. The other hair care product that I've really enjoyed this month is a conditioner, and it is a L'Oreal product. It's the L'Oreal Professional Mythic Oil Conditioner, and I picked this up in Japan as I hadn't had a haircut for the whole month, as I was too busy to do that in Japan and wanted to wait till I came home. And the ends of my hair were getting a bit split and a bit tired, so they just really needed a bit of love. So I picked this up knowing that I knew what it was, because it wasn't a Japanese brand. I knew that it would contain some argan oil, but it also contains avocado oil, cottonseed oil and grapeseed oil, and the combination of all those oils just turned my hair to silk. It was just incredible. From the first time I used it, from the first wash that I used it, my hair just came out of drying so soft and so smooth. It really did transform my hair, and I was so pleased with it. It's got a really lovely rich creamy texture, which I love in a conditioner. For me, a conditioner almost needs to be like a mask in thickness, as I want it to sort of really stick to my hair so that I can sort of leave it on for a bit and then wash it out and feel like it's really stuck to my hair, whereas sort of a thin conditioner, I just end up using far too much of it and it's a waste. So it was a really nice consistency. It's very luxurious. The scent is really beautiful and luxurious as well. And yeah, it just really helped to sort out my dry ends of my hair before I had a haircut. But I know it'll be a really great product also for winter months as well. So if you've got very dry ends and you really want to turn your hair to silk, or perhaps if you've got quite unruly hair, quite dry hair or frizzy hair, this would be a really great conditioner as well. So look out for that too. For Wellbeing this month, two of my favourites have been quite sleep orientated, and obviously when you're flying you need to try and catch some Z's on the plane, and it's quite difficult because it's quite uncomfortable and not a natural place to be sleeping. And obviously when I was on tour in Japan, I was in hotels, so it was unfamiliar, different beds, different pillows, different sounds, but obviously sleep is so important, particularly when you're working on a show and you need to make sure that your rest is really good quality. So because of that, I brought a couple of things with me to help ensure that I got the best sleep I could get. And one of those is a eye mask, and I know that's just quite a simple product, and this one is one I got from Laura Ashley, and I bought it a while ago because I just thought it was so pretty and I didn't really think much else of it, but I actually found it's so useful, particularly on the plane, because light is not always in your control. You know, when you want to have sleep, people might have the blinds up or lights on, you know, reading books and all that sort of thing, and you do really need to block out the light to sleep. And I found that this one, because it's got a lovely satin feel, was really cool and comfortable on my eyes, and actually got me more in the mode to sleep. So I've been really enjoying using this month, particularly on the plane, but also in hotels. The other sleep-related Wellbeing product that I really liked using this month was a pillow spray, and it is the Deep Sleep pillow spray from This Works, which I have been using for a long time already actually on tour, but I particularly liked using it away in Japan for the last month, again because obviously the rooms were unfamiliar. So this was a really soothing scent which I would spray on my pillows most nights, particularly when I was trying to get over the jet lag at the beginning of my trip there, and also when I came home, because the scent is really soothing and really lovely to inhale just before you're trying to sleep, because it's got a combination of lavender, vetiver and wild chamomile, all of which are very soothing, sleepy kind of scents, and obviously the more you use this, the more familiar that it gets to you. So because of that, if you then apply it to a pillow in somewhere that's less familiar, it kind of gives you that comfort that familiarity brings. So I've really liked using this, particularly when I travel, and I find it really does make a difference for me in a sort of nice ritual way to make you sleep. So you can spray your pillow and sort of get in the sort of mood for sleep with the scent, and again it kind of brings you home. So this is, again, has been a really great product for me this month and really great for travel. For dance favourites and theatre favourites this month, obviously I was away in Japan, so I didn't get to see any theatre as I was obviously performing myself. So I had the most incredible time performing Top Hat in Tokyo and Osaka, and the show is just beautiful and wonderful, and I'm very sad that now it's over. But as part of the sort of dancing sort of theme, one product that I really enjoyed using was some dance leggings, and I bought them actually in rehearsals, and they're these Nike sort of full length cottony stretchy leggings, and I used them in rehearsals a lot, and I also travelled in them, and I wore them a lot for warm-up as well, and I just absolutely loved them. I bought them in JD Sports, and they weren't as expensive as some of the other sort of Nike branded clothing. I think they're about £28. I'll double check that and pop that in the information. But they were really wonderful to wear, as they were great and stretchy and held their shape, but they're also really soft because they're very cottony with the sort of elastin sort of in the material. So I actually did wear them on both flights out to Japan and home, as I found them really soft, really comfortable. And obviously when you're on long flights, you need to obviously make sure that you're able to move about, sort of to try and prevent some deep vein thrombosis and sort of, you know, cramping up and all that sort of thing. So I found them really comfortable to wear, obviously in the day as well as for dance. So they've been a favourite this month. So that's it for my favourites for October. I really hope you've enjoyed seeing which makeup, skincare, wellbeing and dance favourites that I've had for the month of October. Look out for more Japanese related blog posts. I've got an in-flight facial routine blog post coming up soon, and a Japan haul from all the makeup and beauty and skincare products that I picked up in Japan, as well as a day in the life video which will also be coming your way soon too. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep in touch with all of my latest videos, and follow me on Instagram, Twitter and like my Facebook page too, Dressing Room Diaries. Thanks very much for watching and take care. Bye!